hello. Happy last Friday of 2023. Can you believe it? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you from wherever you are tuning in. I am back. I am back. Last week I was away. My goodness, what a difference a week makes, but I am back. But it has been 1 week. Let me tell you, hasn't it been a week? It has been a real week. I've been going through emails and trying to clear off my desk to get prepared for the new year. And I tell you, it has been a week, but I am so grateful. First of all, I'm so grateful to be back safely. Traveling through the holidays is not always easy, but this year was much better. The airports, love to you guys at BWI, love my airport so much. Don't care what anyone says. You guys just make traveling so much easier. I personally feel Global Entry, love you too for making it easy to get through that customs part, and love to all my friends in Mexico. Thank you to my hosts in Merida for showing me some of the things I wanted to see. So you know who you are, and I can't wait to see you again very soon. So thank you so very much for your love and compassion, kindness, um, and also to my husband, because he is just like the bodyguard, right? Just keeps me safe when we travel. So I have a very good question that landed in the inbox while I was away, and I missed it when I was away last week because my out of office was on. So Pat, thank you so much for sending in this question about seniors. I want to jump right into it because yes, I do a lot of work with seniors. I just want to tell people who follow me, Siva Health started off as a house call service. This was prior to the pandemic. That's why my podcast and newsletter is Healthy House Calls with Angel. So Siva Health started out as a house call service when I was still working in a different clinical practice in Columbia, Maryland, and started my business. The easiest way to get my business started, I thought, was doing house calls because I knew that was where the biggest need was. I had a lot of elderly patients in my on my panel in my practice, and I would always see how they would just come in, and it would, I mean, literally, like the appointment be scheduled at 9, and the little, folks would be coming in, and I say little because they're getting a little bit shorter as they got older, but they'd be coming in, and my God bless these souls, because it took like two people to help them get in, get settled, get through the check-in desk, make it back to my office where I would see them, make it over to the lab to get their blood work done. And I just thought there's got to be a better way, right? And I used to be a community health nurse also. So that too had helped me put some framework together. And I thought, something, we need to help seniors age well at home, right? Like we should stop making them have to move heaven and earth to get to a clinical appointment. So I saw the need for, primary care, and I'm board certified in adult and gerontology. So I said, you know what? Why not just do some house calls and see how it goes? And Siva is a Sanskrit term which means to serve. So our founding belief at Siva Health is all about service. It's all about the belief and the true core value that every person deserves access to healthcare, safe, quality healthcare. Healthcare is a human right, period, end of sentence. So that's really, senior health is really the origin story, part of the origin story of Siva Health, So thank you, Pat, for recognizing that. I do, excuse me, I do provide services for seniors. I don't do the house calls like I used to because the practice itself grew so much, and I started seeing the adult children of the seniors that I was taking care of, many of the adults in my own age bracket who were struggling with stress and midlife stuff. And so the practice just grew and grew and grew. So I still see my seniors. Some of them live in senior adult adult assisted living facilities. I have days carved out on my schedule that I specifically see those residents who live there. And it is just, you know, sometimes sometimes it's heavy work and sometimes I get frustrated. I'll be honest with you, but it is a very rewarding part of my work is working with seniors, older adults, and bringing integrative medicine to seniors, to that stage in life, because a lot of people feel like integrative medicine is all for young people and all this kind of thing, and millennials and whatnot. But integrative health is for every age. Integrative medicine is for every age. And I'll tell you something, that two of the populations who are best served by an integrative approach are seniors and children. Why? Because seniors, your body as it ages is very, very sensitive. There are lots of medications you can't give seniors, right? That you should not give seniors. Let me put it that way. There's some medications cause increased risk for falls, increased risk for delirium, for confusion, raise the blood pressure, lower the blood pressure, impact appetite. I mean, when you're talking about seniors, you have to treat seniors the same way you treat the little ones, because their bodies are very, very sensitive. And there are lots and lots of medications and treatments that should not be introduced into that population, into their care at that age. That being said, I use a lot of my integrative medicine tools in that senior population because it allows me to do what I do best and love best, which is, herbal medicine and functional nutrition and lifestyle modifications and, just bringing a more natural set of solutions to their healthcare problems. So, Pat, yes, I do see seniors, and on my website, sivahealthgroup.com, you probably clicked on NeuroWellness because you specifically asked me about NeuroWellness testing. So yes, I partnered up with, and when I say partnered up with, I mean I and built a provider relationship with a company that has the same beliefs and core values that I have about mental health and neuroendocrine health, and that is foundational wellness. I am a big believer in foundational health. You've got to look at root causes. You've got to look at people's foundation to see what does the foundation look like. It's no different than if you were building a home, let's just say. You wouldn't get your bricks and your boards and your, all these other things and just start, putting stuff on the ground and building. You've got to have your civil engineers to come out. You've got to have your architect to come out to make sure that the ground is level, that it's stable, that, the soil and, and all is dense enough, to build and pour cement on. And even when you put the cement down, that's got to have a certain framework, right? So as it pertains to health, I always look at foundational wellness first. So to answer your question, Pat, yes, NeuroWellness is very, very good for a lot of the symptoms that relate to cognitive impairment or cognitive problems. So let me describe some of those symptoms: the nervousness, the anxiousness, the jitteriness, the difficulty sleeping. Okay, a lot of times in early onset dementia, in the early stages of dementia, I have seen in my clinical practice lots and lots of those kinds of symptoms. Because here's what's happening: the person themselves knows that something is wrong. They know that, hey, I just put those keys down right there, and oh my God, they're not there. Where are they? Oh my God. Now the keys weren't right there. Maybe they did leave them, on the sofa or in the bedroom or something, but they just can't remember that. They can't recall that. Short-term memory impairment is kicking in. So there's a lot of that agita, that nervousness. Oh my God, where's my keys? I gotta make it to the dentist. There's that nervousness. There's also difficulty sleeping because with Alzheimer's disease and beta amyloid plaque buildup on certain parts of the brain, it is going to impact those sleep wake cycles. It's going to impact those circadian rhythms. So remember that dementia it's an organic brain disease, right? Okay, so it's organic in the sense that it's a brain disease, right? So it's not just the person's memory that's fading, it's some of the other functions, higher functions in the brain that are changing. Okay, so remember, your brain is responsible for sleep, for wakefulness. It's responsible for appropriate language. It's responsible for helping you pick up this bottle, put down this pen. Your brain is like, I mean, guys, we talk about heart health and all of this, but let me tell you, your brain is working overtime every single day. So neuron damage, is happening. Beta amyloid plaque buildup is happening, right? So it's impacting the brain and brain functions, and then hence impacting the way that person feels in their day to day. So like we're talking about sleep, talking about appetite, talking about wakefulness, talking about anxiety, restlessness, all of this. How can these tests help? Okay, so NeuroWellness tests for urine metabolites of urine of brain neurotransmitters. Okay, so it is a urine based test, a saliva based test, where we're looking at biomarkers, we're looking at cortisol, we're looking at DHEA, we're looking at the excitatory neurotransmitters, epinephrine, norepinephrine. We're looking at the inhibitory neurotransmitters, serotonin, GABA. We're looking at glutamate, okay? If you don't know what glutamate is, let me tell you, scientifically, it is being called like the master neurotransmitter. Glutamate is so important, right? So that's where these tests really, really come in handy, especially in that population, because one of the things I strongly believe in is, and I know from the clinical data, is that when you have sleeplessness and nervousness and anxiety and overexcitation, you've got to calm that down. You've got to balance that. That's one of the things I love about these tests, is that it's all about creating balance. It's the art of balance, of the balancing the communication system in the brain. Basically, that's really what it is. And it's not about dampening this down so much that this winds up being overstimulated. Let me just put it that way. So when we do these tests and we look at the results, like excessive dopamine, excessive norepinephrine, excessive epinephrine, and we see that there's a lower level of serotonin, lower levels of GABA, lower levels of, let's just say, cortisol or whatever, what we're really trying to do is get us a picture of the downstream metabolites to see where we can ultimately supplement and create balance. Okay, everything starts with food. Every single thing. You can't out exercise a bad diet. You can't over or under medicate a bad diet, right? You've got to look at the foundation, like I was talking about earlier. So when we get the results back, Pat, what we do is we use targeted nutritional therapy, amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks for neurotransmitters. So we're talking about things like L-theanine, we're talking about L-tryptophan, we're talking about 5-HTP, which is a metabolite of L-tryptophan. So we're talking about all of that kind of supplementation. And once you correct that, and it really, I have to tell you, there's a lot of science involved, but it's really more of an art than it is a science. It's like, well, it's really the two, but there's an art to all of this. It's really understanding how to tweak this, tweak that, create balance between these two so that you get a little bit more of leveling out. Okay, that's what we're doing with these tests, and they are very, very helpful for elderly. Let me give you an example of something. In traditionally, a lot of people, may feel depression, may feel sadness, may feel irritability. They'll go to their doctor. Doctor will recommend an SSRI, let's just say, or, a medication that can improve their mood, right? But unfortunately, a lot of the times with SSRIs, excuse me, they will cause other symptoms. So like low libido. And, a lot of my seniors are still sexually active. So low libido problems. It will impact weight. It will impact appetite. Sometimes it will cause difficulty sleeping, okay, to be absolutely honest with you, which then means someone's going to reach in their pocket, their prescription pad pocket, and prescribe another thing for that symptom and whatnot. The beauty of targeted nutritional therapy, at least with the practitioner based supplements that I use, is that they've already figured that out. They are specific blends. Oh, my table is shaking there. There are specific blends that bring important things together so that you have less of a risk of those kinds of side effects, right? Where you prescribing this, and then next thing you know, you have this problem. Now you're prescribing this, and next thing you know, you have that problem. And then you're like playing that game, the pop-up game, where you're just trying to control side effects and you're not really treating the actual problem. Give you an example of one of the targeted nutritional therapy supplements I use in my practice, Lentra. Love, love, love Lentra so much. And this is specifically for me, and this is in my practice alone that I'm speaking about. I use this a lot for my elderly who are experiencing nervousness, difficulty sleeping. It really, really does address the issue of GABA deficiency. GABA is a neurotransmitter, so it addresses that. But the beauty of this is it also has a neuro support blend. It's got digestive enzymes in here. It's also got lactium and L-theanine. So it's so well thought out and so well crafted that I know, and see this here on the back, take one capsule daily. I usually only have to do one capsule daily with this, with my seniors, and even with my lady patients who are experiencing menopausal shifts in E2, estrogen changes and whatnot, and are having that excitability, that restlessness, and all of that. Because we know when there's changes in E2, the E2 hormone, estrogen, we know that impacts glutamate and GABA and that overexcitation in the brain. So this has been very helpful for that as well. Another one I really like in this product line is Tranquilint. Now, what I love about Tranquilint, again, because a lot of people, elderly specifically, I have found over the years have been on benzodiazepines. And one thing about benzodiazepines, they can cause a lot of changes in the brain. They also can be very habit forming. So I often caution my young people about, their use of benzodiazepines as well, because, this is stuff you can readily Google and look up. The data is out there about benzodiazepines. So one of the things I like about this product line is it kind of, it's an as needed that, if the person is feeling a little bit of excitation or restlessness, I'm able to safely use this. Now, I'm going to say this clearly. This is not medical advice to anyone who's listening. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I am simply sharing what the tools are in my toolkit in my practice, and what works well for me as a clinician. This is not just run out and go get something kind of stuff. This is a whole system of NeuroWellness that I use in my clinical practice for helping to get better control of symptoms, not just, sort of sending people off with another prescription. Okay. So that being said, I want to say that, yes, the answer to your question, Pat, is that these tests are, first of all, offered under the guidance of licensed clinical providers. So you can always reach out to me. Since you're right here in Maryland, you can reach out to me. It involves a thorough assessment, a collection of data, doing your testing with your mom, and also then getting those test results and looking over everything to see how we can help get control of those symptoms first and foremost through nutritional changes, targeted nutritional therapy. It is not meant to be a replacement in any way, shape, form, or fashion for the more extensive workup with a neurologist and making sure that there aren't other diagnoses at play. So I work in, I partner up with neurologists and neuropsychiatrists in my area to provide these services and to just collaborate. You know, it's all about collaboration because I always say you have to know what you're treating before you treat it, right? So it's all about collaboration, making sure that you have the proper diagnosis first, that you're testing and getting some foundational biomarkers, and that you're putting a treatment plan in place that is whole person centered. So, nutritional therapies and also lifestyle modifications, which I didn't get a chance to talk about yet, but let me just add this in. Because I do so much memory care work, I'm always looking at non-pharmacological recommendations, non-pharmacological solutions. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about things that don't involve supplements or medications or anything of the sort, right? So I'm talking about fixing circadian rhythms through music, through light therapy. I often encourage a lot of the building managers where I see residents to take their residents outdoors. Nature therapy is very, very important to me. I ask them to think about tabletop gardening, crafts, arts therapies, Tai Chi, yoga. I mean, Tai Chi is for everybody. Everybody. Anyone can do Tai Chi. You can do Tai Chi sitting. You can do Tai Chi standing. You can do Tai Chi indoors. You can do Tai Chi outdoors. You only need a square space. Draw a square around your body. That's how much space you need to do Tai Chi. So I oftentimes recommend those things as well because a lot of times they can help calm down some of that agita, that nervousness, that restlessness. Sometimes I'll get these test results back and everything will be fine. Everything will be absolutely where it should be. And that's when I reach to those non-pharmacological interventions. Massage therapy. I'm a big believer in massage for everybody and especially for seniors. So a lot of times seniors sometimes, they're at a different stage in life. They're not getting those hugs and getting that touch and getting that, that good love sometimes that we are getting when we're, with our children and intimate relationships and things like that. Those who are either divorced or widowed, sometimes they're missing out on a lot of that kind of touch therapy. Humans need touch. We need to be touched. We need to be loved. We need to be held. We need to be nurtured, right? We need that as humans. Animals need that. Dogs need that. Dogs like to be petted. Cats like to be petted, right? Every creature likes to be felt and touched. So massage therapy can be very, very helpful for seniors who are experiencing nervousness and anxiety or difficulty sleeping. And you can do therapeutic massage on your mom at home. You can buy essential oils and you can, buy nice body creams and things like that and do light massage or deeper massage with your mom, and that can be helpful as well. Lights and noise, those things are really, really important to get a handle on because, the more light comes into your eyes, the less your brain knows to kick in the melatonin, right? As long as light is on, your brain is thinking that you want to be awake, right? So it's not going to let the melatonin kick in that higher area of your brain. So you got to get a handle on the lights situation as well. So there's light therapy. There's also aromatherapy. And I'm a big believer in aromatherapy, so you can get a nice diffuser and use, calming scents like geranium, like bergamot, like lemon balm. What's another one that I use a lot at night? Oh, jasmine. I love jasmine. I love rose. I use those myself. Put them in a little diffuser. You'd be surprised how nicely they work for seniors. And you do that every night. Music therapy. You know, one of the things I did at my recent retreat, one of the offerings we had was sound healing. And I'll tell you, there is lots of data on, sound wave therapy, so that at different hertz levels, you, I don't want to say impact, but like different hertz levels, um, I can only say impact different parts of the brain. So for wakefulness, you want to have music that's at a certain hertz level. And for meditation, I think it's 432 hertz. So, an 800 something is like, for deep sleep. So you want to look into things like that as well. So all of that just to say, I could go on forever talking about the elderly, because they truly, truly are one of my favorite populations of people to work with, in addition to my midlifers who are holding it down and taking care of, my elderly. Um, yeah, so I could go on and on, but what I want to say is that NeuroWellness testing is for everybody, every adult, every senior. It's easy, it's convenient, you can do it at home. You get really important biomarkers that help you to make some modifications in nutrition, make some modifications with amino acid blends, with supplements. Let me tell you, if you're not keyed in on how important B6 is for the brain, you got to get keyed in on that. So these tests are very, very helpful in that regard. So Pat, I hope this helps answer your question. Reach out to me, since you're right here in Maryland. I would be very happy to help you and your mom and your family in any way that I can. And that's not the only testing that I do. I do some other, gut testing, food sensitivity testing, because we become sensitive to foods as we get older. So there's lots that I offer in my clinical practice. Just reach out. Telephone numbers right there on my website, sivahealthgroup.com. Reach out and set up an appointment with me. And I'm very, very grateful for your question. So thank you so much for that. Now, the last part of today's live is for you. You who follow me, you who stumble on my page here, you who subscribe to my newsletter, you who have attended my workshops, my seminars, who have come on retreat with me, every person that I have interacted with this year, I thank you. I really thank you. This has been a really, really big year for me. I planted so many seeds this year, so many seeds. And when people ask me, excuse me, when people ask me, am I excited about 2024? My answer is, I'm curious. I think I'm curious. I think that's the word that I have to use. That's how I feel right now, today on Friday. I feel very curious. I've planted a lot of seeds this year, a lot. And I've watered them. I've taken care of them. So I'm curious about what they're doing underground right now. I'm curious about where they're going to pop up. I'm curious about what they're going to grow into, these seeds. I've made a lot of investments this year, financial investments, time investments. I planted a lot of seeds, and I'm really, really proud of that. And I thank you to those of you who have really supported me in doing that work. You've called, you've asked, Angel, how are you doing? You've been in mastermind with me all year long in my private community. You came on retreat with me because you believe in the mission of Siva Health and the Siva Institute. You yourself want to live longer and live better. You yourself want to design the life you deserve. You want to learn how to be good to yourself. You believe in the brand mission, the mission of Siva Health. You believe in our core values at Siva Health, and you have supported that. in one way or another, even if it was just subscribing to my newsletter. I want to thank you for that. I want to really, really deeply thank you for that. And I really want to say what an impact that has had on everything that I do at Siva Health. Just knowing that there is a need for the work that I do, a desire for the work that I do, a belief in the work that I do. It's just a shot in the arm. It really, truly is. And so I want to say thank you to you. I want to say, hang in there with me, like seriously, because you are part of a movement. You are part of something so much bigger than me, so much bigger than Siva Health, so much bigger. You are part of a movement. You are part of a lifestyle movement. And I want to tell you that there is so much growing right now at Siva Health, and you are part of that growth. And I know for those of you who I have talked to in my private community, as well as those of you who reply to my newsletter and tell me how much you love Mindset Mastery on Mondays, or you love the Wednesday, and you say what you're doing in your life and the things that you've changed. I just am so proud of you. I am so proud of you, and I hope you are as proud of yourself as I am of you, because you are doing a big thing for yourself. You are, for those of you who have replied and said, you know what, I'm doing heart math now, or I'm doing yoga now, or you know what, I'm retiring this year. I am retiring this year. I have done all I could do, and now I'm going to focus on me. Angel, I'm going on retreat with you next year, 2024, or the 2025 retreat. You know, you are giving yourself such a powerful gift, and I want to applaud you for that. I really, really do. And so I just want to say, good things are coming, more good things. If you thought good things came in 2023 at Siva Health, hang on, honey, because you ain't seen nothing yet. Good things are coming in 2024. Lots of seeds were planted. Gonna keep doing what we do, the way we do it, believing in what we do, the way we believe it, serving the way we serve, you know, because it's the right thing to do. So I just want to say thank you so much for your love, your kindness, your compassion, your support, for showing up, you know, at parties and workshops and retreats and seminars. Thank you for investing your time, energy, and support in everything that we do at Siva Health, and for yourself. It means so very much to me. So I'm going to close out and just say once again, from the bottom of my heart, and from everyone at Siva Health and every partner of ours, our partners in India, our partners in Pakistan, our partners in Mexico, our partners in Turkey who help with the podcasting stuff, from all of us who collaborate here at Siva Health. Oh, our partners in Spain, in Madrid. For everyone who helps us do what we do at Siva Health. And from us at Siva Health, we thank you for your love, your kindness, your compassion, and your support. Be well, be good to yourself. Pat, thank you so much for an amazing question. Never, ever, 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 ever be afraid to be amazing. Take good care. Many blessings to you in 2024 and beyond. Bye-bye.